Hi guys, in this video we will be learning how to create a similar site model in Revit just by creating roads as well as buildings, and let's get to it. So this is the extent that I will be using. So at the start I will be putting reference lines just to highlight the extent of the model, just using the copy tool. And again, I can just create reference lines vertically, copy it to the other end, and once I'm happy with the size, I can just select them all and pin them so I don't move them. And once I'm happy with that, I can just use the floor tool to create the overall site or the topography. So the recording is not letting me use the rectangular tool, so we will just use the pick line tool and trim and extend, TR for shortcut, and click OK. This is how it looks like, which is like that part, and we can just go to edit type. Well, before we do that, we can just change the type of flooring and go to edit type, duplicate it, and give it a different name. So I don't edit the original floor. So once I hit that, I can also change the thickness here. So maybe give that a 0 and give that 100. That didn't work. Maybe I will give that a 90 and that one 10 millimeters, and yeah, that worked. So we changed the thickness of the ground. So once we have that, we can start creating the curves. So in order to create the curves, we can again just copy the reference lines to the middle, maybe to center it. Another one to center it in the middle. And there's like this road which fits 2 cars, so maybe like 3 to 4 meters. Maybe 4 meters is too big, so 3 meters. And 3 meters on the other end. And we will do the same here as well. Copy 3 meters. I just need to fix that to 3 meters. And also copy this part 3 meters. And yeah, we have the roads or where they should go, like in reference lines. And now we will start using the reference lines as a guidance to draw the curves. So in order to do that, I'm just going to use floors again, and I still can't use the rectangular tool, so pick line should do the job, and trim extend to trim it, TR for shortcut again, and that's the tool in the tab. And once I'm happy with that, I can start creating the curve on this end and set a radius for it. So the curve is like way deeper, so I have to change that. I need to change that as well. So 3 meters, I think 3 meters is doing the job. So once I'm happy with that, I can use the mirror tool to mirror it to the other side and replicate what I did for the other end as well, and hit OK once I'm done. So this is how it's showing. It's picking up the other floor, so we can just give it this floor and then change the base offset so it goes on top of the road. You can just drag the elevation lines or the height lines to that end. So next we will be doing the crosswalk. So again, copy the reference line and paste it to that point, and copy it again and make it 1 meter, and I have to do that walkway in this end. So just pick a floor again. Rectangular tool is still not working, so pick line will do the job. When you have the rectangular tool, you can normally just like draw a rectangular, and it's a lot quicker. But yeah, the video is not letting me click on that option, so I have to use the pick line tool and trim and extend. And yeah, we've created the first strip, and we can just position it to where we want, and maybe start like copy pasting it to the other side. And in this case, you can't use the array tool because we are editing the floor, and that's fine. I can just copy paste it to the other end, and the spacing is 300 between each of them. This might take a few seconds. And once I copy pasted it, I can just use the move tool to move it to the position that I want, and mirror it to the other side. And again, I can select them both and use the copy tool because I want to copy it to the other end as well, and use the mirror tool. So 90 degrees, and use the move tool and snip it to that edge. And once I'm happy with the positioning and everything, I can just tick OK. And on 3D, you can view it, and we can just like give it a different offset. And if we went back to our drawing, we can see nature strips. So we can create those nature strips again just by using floors. So again, just using the pick tool, and copy tool to copy it to the other side. Trimming and extending form. And once we're happy with the form, we can just copy it so we can have it on the other end as well, and use the rotate tool to rotate it. And we will paste it after the crosswalk. can use the move tool to offset it from the street or the curb. So do the same here, move it again by 400 just to make them both the same, have the same offset. And next we have to draw the one in the middle. So we can just like copy this, paste it here, do the same on the other end, paste it where the reference line is. And I think this one is done differently, so I'm just going to follow that, drag it to this end, and do the same for these two rectangles. And I can just like fill that end. That's the wrong tool. Again, that's the wrong tool, so I think this might be the right one. Not really. Okay, there's so many curves in this and I get confused sometimes, but yeah, this is the tool that I was looking for. And yep, we have our nature strip now. Once we're happy with how everything aligns, we can just hit OK. You can see how it's hidden. You can just go to wireframe view to unhide it, change the floor type, and change the offset. So we will give it maybe 200. And we can see it now. And once we have it, we can just like use the mirror tool again to mirror it to the other ends. Again, use the mirror tool. And yeah, we have the model sort of like, or the streets and the walkways done. And we can just start applying materials to it. So when you want to apply material individually, you have to replicate the type of element that you're using. So for example, now I had to like duplicate the floor and give it like a different naming. And now I'm just gonna give it like a material or something. So this is maybe the first one. And click apply. You can see how the color has changed, which means the material has been applied. And again, we can go to edit type. Again, so like choose a different what do you call it, material for it. So concrete would do. And once we're happy with that, we can go ahead with this material and duplicate it. I'm using the wrong tool, so duplicate is the right one, and give it a different naming. And maybe change it to something that has to do with grass. Maybe grass. Yep, we found grass, so okay. Apply. And we can just select the other ones and give them the same material. And for the walkway, we can just duplicate it again, give it a different naming. And yeah, maybe give it like a lighter color. So I'm just gonna look for lighter color. And yeah, we have basically the roads, walkways, and nature strip done here. We can just pin them, and now we can just roughly create basic buildings using walls and roofs. So we can just use the wall tool and rectangular is not working, so I have to sort of use pick line. And this is a very thick wall. Maybe I will change the wall type. So pick, still very thick, so I'm just gonna edit type the wall, duplicate it, and give it a different naming. And here I can just add different thickness to the wall and move it so it aligns with the external line of the nature strip. So here again I can just draw, maybe picking interior, and once I'm happy with where it sits I can just trim and extend it. And if we went to 3D view, this looks like a very long or high building, so maybe give it like 2.4 meters. And once I'm happy with that, I can just let me just check it. Yeah, once I'm happy with that, I can just I was going to mirror it, but I think it's better if I drew the roofs first. So use the pick line to draw the roof that I want and hit OK. Create the same to close these. So maybe on the other end, yeah. So once I'm done with that, I can just choose different thickness for the roof. And here I can just like associate it with level 1, sorry, which where the roof is. And I can just now select them all, filter it out. So I just want to select the roofs and the walls. So apply OK, and I can just group it and call it maybe a building or something, so I can have it in one block and copy it, paste it to the other sides, or mirror it. So mirror, and I'll do the same, and the reference, like using the reference line in the middle, and here we go, everything is aligned and neatly aligned, yeah. And here we can just add like side components. So in this case, I'm just gonna try to add trees, but you can add like other urban elements or other site elements that you wanna add, such as like street furniture, light poles, or any other elements you want to add. So in this case, the tree that I have is a bit too big, so I'm just gonna edit type, duplicate it so I don't edit the original one, and give it a different name, a name I would probably recognize. So once I do that, I can just create or change the height of these. The circle size doesn't change on plan view, but on the other views, the size of or the height of the tree is way smaller than what we had. So we can just put them where we want. And yeah, this is how you create a simple site model in Revit.